Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to a very early live stream. Amy and the boys are away for the weekend. I'm away tomorrow, so I thought I'd get an early stream in and continue with Henry Dyson because he's the first character that we did this league, and he's level 57. He needs some love, and I think I found a way to progress with him. So I want to share with the changes I made with him, and then I think later on tonight we'll jump on Mama Bear and push her into the 80s. So yeah, I think we're just going to go through Henry Dyson, the Oracle, which is a spear build with Whirling Slash. And I've been playing around with Whirling Slash to try and get it the main focus of the spell. Keep it theme related. For those of you that do not or are new to the channel and have found me somehow, I spin my builds. I use a wheel spin on the builds, and we create RNG builds. So this RNG build was hard locked onto the Druid because the Druid was a new class this season. With the Oracle, which is the Ascendency, is two Ascendancies. There's Oracle and there's the Shaman. So we've gone for the Oracle on this build. And we, instead of using the Talisman, which is the main archetype weapon for the Druid, the wheel chose a spear, and the ability was Whirling Slash. Now, Whirling Slash is quite an early ability, so we've been playing with it for quite a while. And it is kind of... it's an ability that procs off other abilities to make it stronger. So any sort of ground effects like ignited ground or chilled ground or shock ground will convert the Whirling Slash into a damage type of that. So I have got ignited boots on, and as you can see, my my Whirling Slash is now fire orientated. Now, interestingly, that going around does not do damage. It has an initial hit, and then that's it. It will blind targets, but when it goes around now, it won't do any other damage until I walk away from it. When I walk away from it, it then does create an explosion. So I'll read through these Whirling Slash so you get an idea what it is. Perform a circular slash that kicks up a whirlwind around you, slowing enemies and blinding them in the area of effect. Leaving the area, collapses a storm, dealing damage and causing a knockback. So there we go. That's it without the status effect. This is only going to blind people. The initial hit gives me a little bit of damage, and then it's going to blind. Now we can stage it, so we can do a second one and a third one. I can keep spamming it and keep attacking. That's okay. It won't get any bigger than this. However, when I roll out, it will then explode. And if I get 3 stages, then that's the most amount of damage we can get from that. So it's an interesting ability, this, because it's supposed to be used also with, not Tornado, the Cyclones. So if you use Cyclones within Whirling Slash, it multiplies them. So it's a good way of creating loads and loads of Cyclones. However, I don't want to do Cyclones because I feel like Whirling Slash Cyclones, as you know, Paul, who joins the channel, he does that. It's a very popular way of dealing with Whirling Slash. And what I want to do is bring in some of the Druids. So I have got Tornado. Now this is Tornado, which is a fun skill. And Tornado actually procs with ignited ground, with chill ground, and also with shock ground. So what I want to try and do is create those 3 ground effects so that the Tornado can pick up all 3. However, another little thing is the Whirling Slash will only pick up 1. So Whirling Slash is a great way to instigate the fire damage. I've got Thunderous Leap, which I've attached the Shocking Leap. So supporter skills create a shock ground for 4 seconds when they critically hit. No more than once per skill. Use shock ground to create this way. It has a radius of 2 meters. So I need to try and generate crit. Now I haven't actually got crit on the pathing yet on this build. I do need to try and bring it in. On the Ascendency, we have this lesser harm enemy critical hit chance against you is unlucky, don't like that. 12% increase chance though on the second one or third one. We've got crit chance against me, but the fourth one is inevitable crits. So hits which could potentially be a critical hit but do not roll a critical hit will re-roll critical hit chance until they succeed. Hits with 30% less crit damage for each time. So we're kind of like pushing on the crit side of things, which I think I might want to go at. The other one that I've got on my Ascendency, I guess I'm going into the pathing now, is spell damage and the Fateful Vision. Now the reason why I've got this is when active, visages of yourself from alternative timelines will occasionally appear and cast one of your spells from the first valid weapon set. Until this next visage appears, your next cast of the same spell aligns with your fate, empowering the spell. So it will cast the spell, and then if I cast it on top of it, I get a little outline around my tornado, and it will do 30% more damage. It basically empowers it, which is good. The frustrating thing about this one is visages can only cast non-channeling and non-buff skills. That's not a problem. It's the casting a 25% visage frequency per skill visages could cast. So if I put more spells in it, that frequency of that cast being a spell being cast is reduced by 25%. We're on a 10-second tool cooldown, so if I do add another spell, it will go down to 7.5 seconds. If I have another one, it will go down to 5 seconds. However, I only want it to cast tornadoes because I want tornadoes to be the thing. So it looks like every 10 seconds, we get a tornado. What I can do though is I can extend the duration of the tornado to be 10 seconds, which I haven't quite done yet. But we do have nodes at which we can go down with skill effect duration. So if I was to type in here skill effect duration, and bear in mind this is a spell, so we can see we've got a little line up here which I can take for more skill effect duration. We're not shape shifting in this build, so we can't use those. There's a skill effect duration here, that's the reduce, don't want to do that one, so we could pop down here and use this one here, and increase skill effect duration. There's another one there that we could do, which would be good. We've got one more up here, we get some more up here, so we could extend the duration of the whirlwind as long as it lasts 10 days, sorry, as long as it lasts 10 seconds. We should always have the uptime. Currently the duration, look at that, duration is 9.3 seconds, so we're close anyway, can always have it up. However, when we're running away, the tornado will disappear off and then it's gone, right? First thing is ground effects, second thing is tornadoes. Now, as I say, the aligned fate, this dude is going to be casting the tornado. I don't really want to be casting tornado that much, but you know, I kind of want it to be automated, but I've got it when it is up if I need to do more damage against bosses. And then the other thing I've just done with this is reducing the elemental resistances of my targets. Now, the first thing I've got for this, I've got a load of uniques in at the moment because we're low level, right? Level 57. This shield here inflicts elemental exposure to enemies 3 meters in front of you. So they get elemental exposure from that, which basically means that they're more susceptible to elemental damage by 20%. The second thing I've got is overwhelming presence. So enemies in your presence have a 90% reduced elemental element threshold. So we've got the exposure, and then we've got the reduced element threshold, and then I've got a curse as well. So the curse is -1 to 50. Well, it's not 51% because it's in blasphemy, but -51% elemental resistances. So we're going to really shred the resistances, and then we should do a lot of damage, elemental damage. Now, another thing to note on this with the Druid is the Druid is very much a spell and attack damage. So as you can see here, these nodes here are in spell and attack damage, and this is kind of going to be a reflection of the build. So while we've got attack damage AoE, I'm also starting to proc into spell damage AoE. Now, I have picked up the Crown of the Eyes, which gives me increase and reduction to spell damage, also applies to attack. So I can focus on spell damage and it will now boost up my attack damage, which is good for my tornadoes. I suppose we are focused to spear build, so we do want to make sure our attacks are high as well. So the other thing is our mystical rage. Every every rage also grants 2% increased spell damage. So we get a 60% spell damage when we're at max rage. And we could look at increasing the rage count. We've got 15 there, 20% max rage cost. So we should be generating lots of rage using the Whirling Slash, because that's a 5 rage 1 melee hit. So we're constantly casting that, which means that our rage should go up, and then we've got more spell damage. And with more spell damage, we've got more attack damage. So that'll be good. What else have we got? So we've got Blasphemy. I've gone for the passives on that. Wind Dance is currently locked out because I haven't got enough spirits. Thunderous Leap for movement. So Whirling Slash for creating the whirlwinds. Then we leap out of it. That blows up. We go for the next one. And then the Tornado procs out. Align Fate for that auto tornado. And gear, I've gone for ice. I've gone for an ice. I've got fire boots. I've got the tornado, the leap for lightning, and then I've gone cold for weapon, and I've got the Pulsar Klein Sapphire Ring. I don't even have Pulsar Klein. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Which is enemies chilled by your hits can be shattered. I've then got the Grip of Winter gloves. Low level-ish, kind of level 30, I suppose, but I don't think it is level 30. I think it's lower than that. It's the gem. But this is increased freeze build-up and magnitude. I think I'll probably get rid of that eventually. Again, with the armor, this is just a good damage mitigation at the moment, and enemies are intimidated, which is always nice. It's extra damage. And then the boots. I think the boots and the helmet are the two main thing, along with the shield, are the ones that we've got to keep going. Anyway, that's roughly the build. Pathing, as I say, it's spell damage, attack damage, AoE, and rage. That's pretty much the main focus point at the moment of this. And I'm currently in Interlude, and I've just hit the stones of Serel, so I'm going to go and do this. And you get to see the build now, and then we can level up and try and get to endgame on this. So basically it's AoE and then leap to the next one, AoE around and then leap to the next area, and then leap. I mean, the damage seems to be pretty solid. I mean, I don't know where that tornado is going. And are they going to die? They're going to die now. So yeah, I mean, it feels like there's a bit of synergy. It feels alright. The build doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel as good as like the I want to say the shape-shifting ones that I've done recently. They seem pretty cool and fun. But I've only just started playing around with this, and the Whirling Slash is something that I've just. Isn't it boring? I mean, it's a supplementary skill. It adds to other skills. There we go. We can cast that to do more damage. Enchant that. I mean, the damage is pretty strong actually with the elemental resistance knock on these guys. I mean, it's just a shame that enemies within that don't continue to take damage. I mean, I would like to feel that that's the logical thing, right? Is that if you're stood in a fiery tempest, you would take damage. But anyway, there we go. That's my little dude that comes along, casts, and then that just wanders off, does its thing. And so on that at the moment, I've got the where is it? Tornado. Advancing Storm, supported originate from the player and move towards the target location. So they're a little bit random because obviously I'm not casting those ones. There we go, that's gone off. No idea where it's going. That one I can have go off that way. I did try this build with Blink as a means to. Oh, that's the stones. Yeah, I did try it with Blink, and I don't know. I think I can't get on with Blink I just feel like because of the sprint mechanic now, you're gonna use the dodge roll to instigate sprint, and then having that tied to blink. I don't know. It just doesn't feel. I don't know. It doesn't feel right. I think it'd be nice to be able to untie sprint from the dodge roll if you got blink, so you can sprint. Without, otherwise you end up like blinking into a wall just to try and instigate a sprint, and then you stun yourself, and then you can't go. Which kind of feels a little bit frustrating, but never mind. Right, here we go. Have we done all those? I wonder if we can make that. We can leap quite far, actually. That's good.
Darkness descends, and with it your end.
Question is, how long? One thing I've noticed with the Druid, a big lack of stats, strength, intelligence and dexterity. I don't know if it's where we are on the board, or the lack of pathing. This is definitely a boss you don't want to be toe to toe with, right? It's just nasty hits. We're level 54. I'm a few levels above it. Yeah. Alright. I feel like we could possibly improve on the support gems, especially for that one. Trying to get the most amount of crit out of this as possible.
It worked. They will
maybe we don't do AoE. Maybe we do something like a speed or something to do with the leap mechanic. Possibly, might be a useful thing. I don't know. We'll see.